Minasan, okaree nasai. Today one of the all-time greats, a name I knew before I even knew who Seiyuu were. And we're just going to keep that intro short because we have a lot to go over. Maaya Uchida, born December 27th, 1989 in Tokyo, affiliated with IM Enterprise, while her music is published under Pony Canyon. Maaya always had an interest in video games since very early childhood. A little more on that in the fun facts section. Then in middle school, she joined the theater club, and not long after, she was introduced to the world of voice acting. In high school, she decided that that is what she wanted to do as a job. Afterwards, she went on the internet and read magazines to decide on which university for voice acting she was going to enter, deciding on the Japan Narration Acting Institute, graduating in 2009 and soon after debuted in an OVA called Boko Otariman as an unnamed character. Speaking of that, I am not going to say the character names for a majority of the shows that I talk about, since she just has so many, so instead I'm just going to say the show title, and if you're more interested, I'm sure you'll be able to find the character's name very easily. 2010, she debuted into episodic anime rather than just an OVA at the age of 20 with a small role in The World God Only Knows. In 2011, she only had one named role in Yoru Yuri. These 2 years and some of 2012 are mostly unnamed or one-episode side characters. That is, until she started to voice the leading lady Rika in Love, Chunibyo, and Other Delusions. Amazing show and banger openings. This was a really big one for her. Then in the same year, she had another lead in Sankareya, then supporting roles in Kokoro Connect, Bodacious Space Pirates, Dog Days, and K-Project. Apart from this, she had her live-action debut in Super Sentai, kind of, in the Akiba Ranger series, which is kind of a parody of regular Super Sentai. Also, when it comes to anime, like I said, this was a big year for her, so from here on out, she's averaging 10 or more anime a year, and at least half of those are new shows. 2013, Year of the Snake and her personal Chinese zodiac. She had some leads worth mentioning in Vivid Red Operation. Great cast here. There was also Gatchaman Crowds, Good Job Boo, and Pretty Rhythm Rainbow Live, but then some good supporting characters in High School DD, A Certain Scientific Railgun, and Outbreak Company. This was also her animated debut into IdolMaster, Cinderella Girls, and specifically just the Little PV animation, which she started performing live as in the previous year, and in the future she wouldn't make too many more live appearances, but I'll get there in the concert section. So, 2014, leads of Hiyori in Noragami, but also in Is This the Order of the Rabbit, Rail Wars, Ao Haru Ride, and Gonna Be the Twin Tail. Supporting characters in Sake the Nationals, Argavolan, Jinsei, and Data Live, which she technically started in the prior year, but only in a singular OVA. Actually a similar situation for this year, with her role in Yamada-kun and the Seven Witches. The OVA came out this year, but the full series wouldn't be until the following year. There's also a show that started a few years back, the remake of Hunter x Hunter. In this year of 2014, Maaya began voicing Alika Zoldyck, as well as her counterpart Nanika. But aside from anime, this year she made her solo singing debut under Pony Canyon label, with the track Wounded Innocence, opening theme for Riddle Story of Devil. But she also had Gaming Revolution, the opening for the Twin Tail show, and arguably her most popular song. Nowadays, at least. It wasn't so popular when it debuted. I mean, this was definitely the first song I ever heard from her, and Lyrical Lily over in D4DJ covers both of these debut tracks. There's even one more thing for this year, her first photo book, simply titled Maaya. Actually, another thing I almost forgot, she won Best Supporting Actress this year at the 8th Seiyuu Awards for her role in Gatchaman Crowds. 2015 was her first album at Penki, peaking at 6 on the Oricon Albums chart, and her writing the lyrics for the song Watashi no Stage. Also her third single, Empty Capsule, the ending for Kamako Psychosomatic Medicine. Sounds fun, and very hard to pronounce. She actually had a role in this series too. And other roles include Food Wars, Gate, Heavy Object, Chaos Dragon, World Break Aria, and Two Ladies in Charlotte. There's also Lily in Danmachi. 2016, her next single was Resonant Heart, the opening for Seisen Cerberus, having a role as well. She then had roles in shows like Brave Witches, Psyche K, Cabinet of the Iron Fortress, Myriad Colors Phantom World, and Pokemon Generations. 2017, first mini-album Drive-In Theater, writing the lyrics for the track 5 AM. But then there was Intersect, her fifth single, where the coupling track featured Sumire Uesaka, and the lyrics for both songs were written and composed by pop singer Zack. Maaya had another single though, Cosmos. I really like this one. New anime include Surezure Children, Clockwork Planet, In Another World with My Smartphone, Sagrada Reset, Land of the Lustrous, Hina Loki, and debuting into Doraemon. Nice, that's gotta be a good feeling. There was also the My Hero Academia OVA, Training of the Dead. And this year, she along with around 22 other popular artists at the time were featured in a song called Tsubasa wo Motsumono to celebrate 100 years of anime. If all that wasn't cool enough, she was one of the 10 winners for the New Type Anime Awards. Now, 2018 was her second album, Magic Hour, peaking at 7 on the Oricon Albums chart, this time writing the lyrics for the title track, and this was coupled with a photo book as well. Then another single, Adventure Bleu, that being blue said in French by the way, opening for Takunomi, voicing a lead character as well, but also Youthful Dreamer, ending for SSSS Gridman, where she surprisingly doesn't have a role, not yet at least. But what she does have roles in are Kakuryu Bed and Breakfast for Spirits, Slow Start, Goblin Slayer, Killing Bites, Grand Blue, and Bunny Girl Senpai. There's also the Dragon Ball Heroes OVA where she voiced a God of Destruction. And then, like last year, one of the 10 winners for the New Type Anime Awards. 2019 is her second and most recent mini-album, You Are Here, peaking at 9th on the Oricon charts. Speaking of 9, her 9th single, Kodo Escalation, second ending for Ace of Diamond Act 2, having a role in the show as well. There's also another photo book titled Etoro, and more anime include Assassin's Pride, Helpful Fox Senko, and the remake of Mix Meisei Story. 3 characters worth naming are Ruri in Domestic Girlfriend, one of her most popular roles, even if the character is a lot yikes. But then Melty in Shield Hero, and Norman in Promised Neverland, also one of her most popular. 2020. In March, she released her 10th single, No Scenario. Not an Annie song, but once again the coupling track written and composed by Zach. She also had a double release of Heartbeat City, and Itsuga Kumo ga Harate Nara. Next, as always, new anime, Tamayomi, a new version of Sakura Wars, Kagushigoto, Magia Record, Akudama Drive, and then debuting into the irregular at Magic High. But we can't forget another really popular character of hers, Katarina in My Next Life as a Villainess, All Roads Lead to Doom, also known as simply just Otome Game. 2021, her 3rd album, Hikari. Great name. Then the ending for Dinah Zenin, her 12th single, Strobe Memory. With anime this year, it's actually the smallest since she got super famous in 2012. The only new shows were World Witches Takeoff, Komi Can't Communicate, and then debuting into the WeCross series. 2022 was her first digital single, Chaser Game, the title track being the opening theme for the live-action television drama of the same name. And another regular single, Kiku Eru, ending theme for Miss Shachiku and the Little Baby Ghost, having a role as well. Other anime include Princess Connect Season 2, Eminence in Shadow, Q, the remake of Urusei Yatsura, Bocchi the Rock, and Chainsaw Man. Oh, and she got COVID this year. Fun. 2023, more music of course. The new single was A Loud Hailer, ending for the Ice Blade Sorcerer Shall Rule the World. Geez, because of her music, I am discovering a lot of anime I've never heard of. She had a role here as well. Oh, and the song was also composed by Teddy Lloyd. That wasn't her only track though. She also had I Love You Tender, opening for You Were Experienced, I Was Not, Our Dating Story. Sounds more like a poem rather than a title. Some more anime include Undead Girl Murder Farce, Skip and Loafer, Sweet Reincarnation, Fate Strange Fake, Whispers of Dawn, and just a lot of light novel or isekai trash. Real shame that this is what literally half of the anime is every year now. But on a positive note, she finally got her Gridman role in the Gridman Universe movie. Super minor character though. Last thing for this year, her 3rd photo book, Maaya Doki. Though it's marketed as her first, even though I've clearly shown 2 other ones. I would assume it could be from being in a new agency or something, but both of her agency and label have been the same for her entire career. So yeah, I don't know. But also, bring water. Jeez, that's a woman right there. This photo book peaked at 1st place on the Amazon Weekly Talent Photo Book chart, as well as the Oricon Weekly Photo Books chart. Due to the success, it has gotten 3 different reprints. In a bonus little award here, she won the Akson Jack Award, which apparently means appearing in the program for 2 hours as a special guest and leaving a big impression, probably because she is just so damn beautiful. Now, for this year of 2024, her 4th most recent album came out not too long ago in May, that being Tokyo Byakuya. But just a little over a month ago before that was her 2nd and most recent digital single, Magnet. But as for more traditional singles, 2 of them so far, Chain, the ending theme for Chain Soldier and having a role in the show. Then just a couple weeks ago, her 16th most recent single, Parallel Hearts, opening for Love is Indivisible by Twins, which is currently airing and she voices a lead, one of the twins. She is also currently in Season 2 of Sengoku Yoko, though she was not in Season 1. But earlier in the year, she had new seasons of Date Alive and Urusei Yatsura. And new shows, aside from the 2 that I mentioned just a minute ago, are, well, Astronaut is the only real regular show. In the fall, she's going to have yet another season of Danmachi, and at some point, maybe this year, no actual confirmed date yet, she will be in a new season of Grisaya Phantom Trigger, which she started voicing back around 2019. Her being the high-profile Seiyuu she is, she hasn't really had any other unnamed or one-episode characters in many shows. well, no shows worth mentioning at least, except for a 2-episode character in Gintama's 4th season. But I will also mention Okami-san and her 7 companions, as well as The Way of the House Husband and My Love Story, because I personally really like those 3 shows. But that's a crazy anime career, man. I mentioned a little over 90 of her roles, and it's safe to say that she easily has over 100 named characters and probably closer to around 120 or 130 now. So her music credits include a lot, close to 70. I mentioned a bunch earlier with her solo career. I won't get into too much detail on the others, but it's safe to assume if she's in the show, she has sang some kind of song for it at some point, whether it's an opening or ending theme or even just an insert song. Sometimes she isn't alone and she sings with other cast members, or not credited as Maaya Uchida, but with an in-universe group for whatever show it is. I will mention a couple of bigger shows though, not including her solo career, those being Bunny Girl Senpai, Domestic Girlfriend, Chunibyo, Danmachi, Eminence in Shadow, Charlotte, and Is This the Order of the Rabbit. As for game roles, having her first in 2011 in a game called Galgun. As for the others, again, a lot. I think it's close to 100 at this point. I don't really want to count them all, honestly. Though some of these credits are the same character, just in different games. Plus a bunch of anime tie-ins like Hunter x Hunter, Date A Live, Eminence in Shadow, Danmachi, and IdolMaster, just to name a few. If there's a game version of an anime she voices in, she's in the game as well. But some non-anime well-known IPs include Fire Emblem Warriors and Heroes, Final Fantasy XIV, Disgaea 4, Fatal Frame Maiden of the Blackwater, and Dead or Alive Extreme Venus Vacation. Also, of course, the usuals: Dragalia Lost, Magia Record, Shadowverse, Fate Grand Order, Azure Lane, Arc Knights, you know the drill by now. Then I'm going to specifically point out her role in Pokemon Masters EX, and voicing Veshel in Genshin Impact. Hopefully I said that right. Still haven't played that game yet. She's got a dozen or so foreign dubbing credits, most of the big ones coming during and after the pandemic era, being in the MCU as Shang-Chi's sister, also in the former DCEU in Black Adam. Then some well-known movies like Matrix Resurrections, the newer Scream movies, Top Gun Maverick, Godzilla Kong New Empire, John Wick Chapter 4, and then the big ones being in both Dune movies and Avatar: The Way of Water. That's honestly a really impressive resume, and just for this section. And these were just the movies. She's also got foreign TV series and animation, as you can see here. Halo and Killing Eve being the big ones. As for Japanese television, aside from Akiba Ranger, she was in another Sentai parody, that being in Neko Sentai Bitatama. And then The Way of the House Husband, having a tiny role just like she had in the anime. There's also a whole bunch of drama CDs, narration, radio, and even having a few stage plays, and being in a bunch of commercials, as well as TV talk shows and web series. I did mention her photo books, but she's also just done so much various grab gear over the years. Aside from these modeling gigs, she's also just had full-on video releases of her traveling around Japan and other parts of Asia, and even France. Not to mention easily over 50 magazine appearances. Okay, final career part, concerts and such. Naturally, a lot, again. Her music career is honestly just as successful as her voiceover career. She's literally the perfect hybrid of both. So for her solo stuff, her first show was in 2016. She had a 2-day solo live in 2017, a 3-day tour in 2018, a New Year's live at the Budokan, as well as a ZEP tour in 2019, a canceled live in 2020 because, yeah, but she ended up having an online one instead. 2021 was a singular show in the summer. 2022 she had a small tour early on, and then a revival of her first live way later in the year. Last year of 2023, a big nationwide tour in the autumn, and this year she will have her 10th anniversary live in November, but a little before that in September she will have a Versus live with Yuma Uchida, who is her younger brother and also a very successful Seiyuu and singer, and they're even working on a song together. All of these solo shows being scattered around Japan, by the way. With the Cinderella Girls over in IdolMaster, she hasn't had too many shows, not compared to most of the other members at least, being at the Cinderella Girls' 1st, 4th, 5th, and 7th main lives, as well as the Animation Project 01 Star Show, and the Onagai Cinderella release event in 2013. Also at the Cinderella Girls Unit Tour earlier this year. Over at Anisama, she's been there every year since 2015, that year actually performing with IdolMaster as well as being a solo act, and even singing with Mikako Komatsu, having some sort of duet every single year since 2017. That year she did the Chunibyo opening with original singer Zack and her co-star Sumipi. 2018 she opened Day 3 with Inori Minase. 2019 was the Hamtaro opening with Yui Ogura. 2021 was Kimi no Se, the Bunny Girl opening with Sora Amamiya. 2022 with Iris, where they protect her from Samurai, and then Ken Matsudaira shows up, and then they all sing a banger together. And then 2023 was some Gridman music with Masayoshi Oishi. She will be there this year too, in just a few weeks actually. I wonder what kind of epic performance she's got lined up for us this time. She's even been in the yearly music video for both 2015 and 2018. Animax is a pretty similar situation, 2014, 15, 16, 18, and 23. In 2018, Maaya and Rie Murakawa had a duet covering the Dragon Maid opening, then both of them and Ayaka Ohashi sang the opening of My Little Monster. If all that wasn't good enough, she's also been invited out to many other yearly and smaller events over the years. I'll just briefly mention the Peas Live, AFA Singapore, Lee Sani, and Billy Macro Link. There's also a bunch of fan club and birthday events over the last decade, and appearing on the Cross Sing Annie Song Covers channel singing Bluebird from Naruto. Really surprised she hasn't been on Annie Song to show yet. So before the fun facts, I just want to recommend some stuff. According to the music charts, these are her best-selling singles, in order by the way. However, these are the songs I personally recommend that you listen to. Also, I actually think that her singing voice is very similar to Aimi Terakawa's. So if you like Aimi's music, you might like Maaya's as well. Now, the facts. Maaya is 155 centimeters, or 5 foot even. On social media, she has Instagram, regular Twitter X, having over 1 million followers now, as well as a staff account for her business, and also one for her radio program that's been going on for many years now. Then there's her YouTube channel, where you can find basically all of her music. All of the old stuff published on the Pony Canyon label can be found in the playlist on her channel. As I said earlier, she has a younger brother, Yuma, who is also a very successful seiyuu and singer. I want to shout out the time that she kicked his ass in Super Mario Kart. I'd like to say that at least, but he actually let her win. Her nickname, Maaya Taso, comes from an incorrect way of reading her name. The anime tracking website MyAnimeList has a ranking of the most popular people on the website, including seiyuu of all languages, authors, and music people. Out of all of these people, Maaya just misses out on the top 50, being at 61st, basically right in the middle of Adolf Hitler and Kanye West. Which is a real thing, I guess. I don't really know why they have credits, but yeah. Then for characters, Rika is in the top 100 at 96, her most popular character with like 20,000 favorites. Which is a lot. All of her other favorited characters are closer to the 3,000 to 5,000 mark. In order, those include Norman, Ruri, Hiyori, and Angel Devil. That last one is really surprising to me. Katarina is the 6th place, and in my opinion, she should be 5th. But Maaya's voice range is so wide, and she has voiced so many different types of characters of various ages, there came a point where she forgot what her real voice even was. I'm sure when she said that, it was a bit of an exaggeration, but you get the idea. She says she is the type of person to get really into something for a while, but then she loses interest and moves on to something else. I can really relate to that, but she has kept her passion for shoujo manga and video games. When she was a student, her favorite game was Final Fantasy VII, and she had an obsession with Tifa. Wanting to cosplay as her, though I don't think she ever did. Would have loved to have seen this. In fact, the reason she had long dark hair during her debut was to look like Tifa, but she also really likes Chrono Trigger. Another passion she has kept is baseball, loving the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks, and she appears on baseball shows very often. She also loves the sea and ocean, and if she were an animal, she'd be a dog. She admires fellow seiyuu Kikuko Inoue, who has roles in Ranma, Clannad, and Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. I'd assume Maaya watched all these growing up, and that's where the admiration started. She is also very close friends with fellow goddess Sumire Uesaka. Then Maaya Sakamoto and Uchida share the same name obviously, but they're also the same height and from the same home prefecture. Almost 10 years apart though. There's also this K-pop idol named Suzy who people say look like Maaya. She actually dubbed a character of Suzy's in a K-drama, and Maaya herself acknowledged that they look alike. Though everyone calls her Maaya One-san, she actually doesn't like that. Not in a bad way, she just doesn't feel that she's a big sister to everyone, hardly even to Yuma. She says she was just born first and that's how it is, and Yuma actually apparently gets a little jealous or bitter when other people refer to her as One-san. Sorry dude, gonna keep doing it though. Keeping up with that, she jokes about the fact that everyone calls her One-san, even other seiyuu, has her feeling like she's a lady gang leader, having all the boys do anything she asks. And finally, let's end on some juicy gossip that is most likely not true, but I guess worth mentioning, because I know if I don't bring it up, someone will in the comments. So at one point, she was rumored to be dating Yuki Kaiji, or maybe it was just the fans shipping them because of the roles in Aoharu Ride. I'm sure fans were very shocked when Yuki announced his marriage to someone who was not Maaya One-san. To follow that up with more gossip about Aoi Yuki and Ayane Taketatsu potentially bullying Maaya, because she was maybe with Yuki before he married Ayana. Also, apparently Maaya stole Yuki away from Kana Hanazawa. Whether that's true or not, that is a lucky dude, oh yeah. But do keep in mind, baseless rumors, probably just fan speculation. But with that, we have reached the ending. Big shoutouts to the Taso Fan Subs channel and to her Wikipedia page. She has some very dedicated and passionate fans. Also nice to see her still out here killing it. She's going to be 35 soon, and although I personally, and I know many of you feel her age doesn't matter at all, in Japan it usually does, and people in their 30s more often than not seem to lose a large portion of their fan base. Things are changing though, with people like Kana Hanazawa, Yoko Hikasa, and Maaya of course. So I'm happy to see it and excited for the future of Maaya and other legends of her generation. Thank you so much for watching. Please join me in the next one where I'll be talking about even more gossip and potential scandals in the industry. As always, I look forward to seeing you there.